So hi everyone, good evening. Today we will start our CSS topics. Okay, we will start our sessions related to CSS. Through our HTML sessions, we saw some of the basic level of CSS. We at least get some idea how the CSS work, how we were writing the CSS. So you might have get some little bit of idea how the CSS is working and how we were writing those CSS when we were discussing about HTML topics. From today onwards, we will discuss it deeply, means at least the way how to write, how the CSS works, and how it works with HTML, all those things. So CSS is very vast, okay? There are so many properties available to have a control over your HTML, okay? How to style it, how to lay out the HTML elements. So there are multiple elements, okay, multiple properties available in CSS. But here our first aim should be to understand how the CSS works, how to write the CSS, and how to properly target particular element of the HTML, okay? If you understand these things, like how to target proper HTML to style, how CSS works in browser, okay, how CSS works in browser, and some of the basics, means what we can say about it. I will just put basics about CSS workings or CSS box model. So some of the basics, when you understand, then no need of having memorize all the properties. So there are multiple properties. So if you know what you want to do, you can just type in the Google search what property you are trying to find. So if I just an example, I know already about border property, but if you don't know about how I can create a curve around border, okay, so you can search it, okay, how to curve border in CSS like this. So it is not possible for anyone to understand all the CSS properties, but it is very important to understand all the CSS basics. If you know about it, then again searching for properties is very easy. So your goal should be to understanding how to style the HTML and how the CSS works, and not memorizing the CSS properties, because there are so many properties. The list is very vast. Okay, so we will move towards the thing is that we discuss about the purpose, that it is used to style and lay out the web pages, so we can alter the font, color, size, and spacing of your content. So CSS is a rule based language, okay? So you define the rule to specifying group of elements or particular element that should be applied to that particular rule will should be applied to that particular element, okay? So we write a rule in the CSS, okay? So that rule will be applied, okay? That style, group of style or particular property should be applied to the HTML element. So in this case, if this is the text of my HTML, okay, which is showing on the browser, and I need to change the color, okay. So this property color, I want color to be red or I want color to be green. So this property I will assign, okay, I will define it in the CSS with targeting this text, okay. I will target this text and will change the property color to green, okay. So first we will see actually how to do it. So the first thing, okay, first thing is like, with each whatever CSS rule you will define, it starts with selector, okay. It starts with selector. So what is selector? So you define some selector through which that browser will understand to which HTML element we need to apply this property, okay. Selector is the, what we can say, browser will select those elements using this selector, okay, and apply the particular property defined inside the curly braces, defined inside this curly braces. So if I put color equal to green, so this is property and this is value for that property, okay. So all the CSS property will be written like this selector, okay. So browser will understand which items I need to select and apply the property defined inside the curly braces. Fine. So till now we will start with first selector, okay, which is called element selector. Okay, so what is element selector? So we use normal HTML element to select the particular HTML element, okay, from the web page. So we have some of the things available with us. Okay, okay. So this is the content we are showing right now, okay, on the web page. Now we want to change the content. Okay, how we can change this content? Means styling or layout for this content we can see. So we have already imported one CSS file. Okay, so this way we tell the browser or inform the browser that we have imported one style sheet, that is sample.css. Okay, so it will import the CSS. We'll look for that CSS and we apply the style rules, okay, which we have written here. So whatever we have written here, I will just remove them. Okay, we will start fresh. So I can see this is uh, heading, then this is something in date, okay, date in gray and other details. As I told you, here we have only one element, H3 element, but consider if there are multiple H3 element, okay, so for you need to copy the same style to all H3 element. If there are four H3 elements in our file, then you need to copy the same styling to all four H3 element. But instead of doing that, if you define that property here, it will apply to all H3 element. So I will show you. So I'm just copying all the things four times. Okay. So here you need to keep the inline styling as it is, and then only it will show gray color. But if I remove all those things, so all will be means all text will be shown in the green using only one CSS rule. Okay, so no need to copy or write the same code again. This is again comes under the simple practices, like don't repeat your code. So here with the same styling, okay, we are repeating our code for no reason. So this way we have just reduced our code, okay, and reuse this means we use the better way of writing the CSS, right? Instead of writing four times the same CSS, we write it in the CSS file. Fine. So this is the element selector, okay, where you need to put elements. Okay, so if you want to apply some styling to p element, you will just put p element and then provide color, as we can put like gray. Okay, and you can put font size also if you want. So there are some defined font size, or you can put like 10 pixel or 10 em, or there are different sizing. So we will see how it signifies different units. Okay, there are different units, pixel, then em, then rem. Okay, so we will discuss about it later also, or you can use percentage also. Fine. So right now I will just use the medium. So see it style that text p tag in the gray. Okay, so these are the element selector. Using element selector we style the CSS. Then now we will discuss, okay, there as I already told you, a browser applies some default styling to some of the elements, so our basic page can look good without no CSS. But if you want, you can remove those default styling with targeting particular element. Okay, so as you can see, these heading elements are by default bold. Okay, they look bold, so that's why we our what we can say, attention goes to those heading. Okay, they are in bold and large in font. Okay, they are not smaller like p elements. Okay, they are large and bold, so because of that our attention goes to the headings. So there are like, if you can say about order list or unordered list, so when we write list, it has bullet or circles, or if we are using order list, so it will have 1 2 3 4. So these are the default styling provided by browser. But if you don't want those styling, okay, So you can remove it, okay, through CSS. So I will show you the one which is very important and very used. So this is list, okay, with physics, biology, chemistry having 1 2 3 ABC. So if I want to remove this styling, okay, I don't want this listing 1 2 3 or AB. What we can do, we can remove it through CSS. So I can put like list style type, but I don't want none. So I don't want anything here. So if I apply it, see all the numbering, okay, AB 1 2 3 and AB has gone. Okay, we remove the default styling of the browser. So this way you can target particular element and remove the default styling like this. So again, it depends, like see, this is the list element, so that's why this property is applicable to this list element, but this same property should, it will not be applicable to p tag or heading tag. So again, it depends on what selector you are using, what element you are using. Okay, if we say color property, okay, it is applicable, but this list style type will not be applicable to p tag or h3 tag. Okay, so for each tag there are different properties are also available, so we need to at least know, okay, some of the properties, some simple level properties, or you can find it online also if you forget. No issue with that. Okay, no one can remember it, I'm telling you this, no one can remember all the properties. Okay, my important is the basic and the how CSS works. So this is the one property which, as I know because I use it many times, so it got memorized, or it, what we say, it remember in my muscle memory there. Okay, so once you practice it, when you use it over a time, like 1 year 2 year you are working on CSS, you will memorize those most of the properties in your muscle memory, so no need to memorize it. It will be memorized as you start working, as you more practice on the CSS. Okay, so now we saw these are the element selector. Now we will see class selectors. Okay, so class selectors, we already know we have class attribute in HTML. Okay, where I can provide a class name and use that class name in the CSS. Okay, how I can use, I need to provide full stop and then provide a name, any name for that class, heading class. This is the selector now, class selector, and then inside the curly braces I need to define the property. So you can provide any property like text decoration underline, I will provide it, and I will use it to our heading h1 tag. Okay, so I will use this class, put this class inside the h1 tag. So I will use class attribute and use the heading class. So we will see decoration of underline below the text. So see, we can see the underline below the text. So this is another way of targeting your HTML, HTML for a styling. Okay, class selectors. Now we will, okay, I will just show you, or fine, this is fine. Then we will see how we can style the things based on their location. Okay, we will see how we can style things based on their location. Let's say we want to style this part, okay, organic chemistry part. Fine, so you want to apply some styling only to this part. Okay, so how you will apply, you all you know that this is list element, but there are multiple list element, you don't want to apply this property to that particular list element. Okay, so we can't use first type of thing. Okay, we can't use the first type of selector. Okay, now next thing, next selector is class selector. Yes, we can use this class selector. I can create one class like, okay, and provide anything like font, weight, bold. Okay, and I can apply the CSS using class attribute. This is one way. This will work fine. Another way is to, I need to understand its location in the web page, okay, in the HTML and web page, and then apply the CSS. Okay, then apply the CSS. So how we can do it? So for that I will put OL, that is element OL. Okay, inside that OL it will have list. Inside list we have again OL and then list. Okay, but again it will not work actually, because we have another list also inside all those things. Okay, so what we will do, we will apply to all both the things. Okay, we will apply the styling to both the things. Okay, so what I will do, OL li OL list. So I am applying styling based on their location. So I will use the same thing. So if you see, the inside list is showing in the bold. The list which is here is showing in the bold. So we here we use, one second, I will just put it below here. So here we understand the location of this element in the web page, okay, and according to that we apply the style, correct? So now this text will be shown in bold. Okay, so this is actually called as descendant combinator. So what we do, we combine the list element, okay, where we are checking for descendant or internal element. Okay, so oil, we have oil element. This is descendant elements of the oil elements. Okay, these are the descendant elements of the oil. Inside list, now we have, these are the descendant elements. So we go deep inside the element, one element inside one element, like that. So this is descendant combinator. We call it as a descendant combinator. We combine two elements. Okay, what we can say, selector, we combine selector. These are the element selectors and we combine them. Then I told you that we need to apply class selector. Okay, first thing, and then there is again another thing that comes as a, okay, see, like this. So see, you will understand one by one. Let me go one by one. Okay, so there are so many things what I just applied here. It has like, actually, okay, like this I can apply that. See, for OL element these are the child, correct? For this list element these are the childs. Okay, so what is the number of that child, you can use that number of that child. So right now what I am doing, I am just using first child. Okay, and apply that first child of font weight property. Okay, so now, oh no, I would like to provide li only, and then it will apply properly. So for that first child apply this property like this. So we will go to those things later. Okay, how it works, there are so many other things. It is based on state. Okay, this is again a, comes under state. What is the state of that element, or what is the placing of that, like this. So there are child kind of things. So if you do colon you will find so many options. Okay, that we will see one by one things. Okay, so we have applied based descendant combinator we have used. So there are other descendant also, like you can put like this strong element which is part of the dt, okay, or we can put for this b element also which is inside p. So whatever elements, if they are inside another element, you can use descendant combinator to combine the two selectors. Okay, so here we combine multiple element selector. Previously we were using only single selectors, okay, single element selector. Now we combine it, and we are looking inside the another element, descendant or child of those elements. So that's why we use this descendant combinator. Okay, now we have another thing, kind of adjacent sibling combinator. Okay, adjacent sibling combinator, that means if p tag, okay, is coming after h3 tag every time, then apply some property, specific property. Okay, there are scenario. Okay, you, if you are following some formula, or you, if you are following some pattern, okay, like this, if we can say one heading and then paragraph, then always one heading and then paragraph. So if you are following pattern, or one image and then caption, one image then caption, so you know, if you are following some pattern, so you can use the adjacent combinator. Okay, what it will be used, so whenever there is p tag after h3 tag, apply some specific styling. So for change, I will copy the same p tag and will put here. Okay, after this description list, save it. Then I will use adjacent sibling combinator. So here what I need to do, h3 plus p, and then what I will do, I will use color, and then so you can see after h3 whatever p tag comes, it is showing in the crimson color, but the one which is coming after this description list is showing in the gray. Okay, so again, if you see, there is one thing. Okay, so what is the thing, here it is showing in gray, why it is showing in black? Can you find the answer, why this p tag is showing in gray instead of black, and here it is showing? That we know, because it is coming after h3, so because of that it will take the this styling. So I will tell you. For next question, so see, already I have applied one style here for P element to style it as a gray. So that's why the next, this one is showing as a gray color and not black. Okay, not in black. It is showing in gray because I have one styling for P element. And for this next specific styling, where I am mentioning that if P element is coming after H3, I should show color as a crimson. Okay, gray color. So let's see the result. Okay, so half answer is correct. The p tag which is coming after description list is in gray. If you see, so this one is correct actually. The crimson, it will be is also in crimson, the one which is in after this, what we can say, uh, after H3. So your answers are correct because we have used the proper selectors here. We are using proper selector to define what color should be. Okay, what color should be we should use. Okay, but again, there are some other things that we will discuss later also. How different priorities take place for different selectors. Okay, right now we are very specific. Okay, because we are specific, that's why it takes proper color whatever we have defined. Okay, but sometimes if you are using the, so if I remove it, this one, in this case what will happen, right? So let's see the result. So it is great. So the other answer was correct. So whatever the latest styling will be there, it will be applied. If it is the same selectors, if you are using the same selectors, so the latest styling will be applied. Okay, fine. For now, we will stop here. Okay, that's it for today's session. Thank you, guys.